behind me, the Cox Pavilion has been taken over by a scene similar to what you might see at a trampoline arena, but it's actually the return of the popular sport slam ball, making its home right here in Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Raiders return to practice on Thursday in preparation for the Green Bay Packers, who they will play on Monday Night Football at Allegiant Stadium. Star wideout Davante Adams did not participate in practice, dealing with a shoulder injury that he suffered in the loss to the Chargers on Sunday. Meanwhile, quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, who is still in the concussion protocol, according to head coach Josh McDaniels, was a go on Thursday. McDaniels said in his morning press conference that Garoppolo is, quote, in the final stages.
3, 2, 1.
Leandre Fox here at UNLV's Fertitta Football Complex, where the Las Vegas Raiders have made a sizable financial contribution, donating $1 million to the Rebels athletic program. Tuesday afternoon, UNLV unveiled the Al Davis team room at the complex to celebrate the occasion. Leandre Fox here outside of T-Mobile Arena in Toshiba Plaza, and obviously tonight the story is the Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights, but honestly, Vegas celebrated in only a way Vegas can. Let's check this out. The Barry Odom era of UNLV football has kicked off in a big way as the Rebels took a season-opening 44-14 victory over Bryant. That's right, Jen. We are out at City National Arena right outside of Mackenzie River. Obviously, there is a huge watch party going on inside with tons of enthusiastic fans. Please stay tuned for our post-game coverage at lvrj.com, and we will see if the Golden Knights have brought home Lord Stanley's Cup. The Raiders introduced interim head coach Antonio Pierce and interim general manager Champ Kelly on Wednesday after the firing of Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler. Pierce spoke about the team playing with a renewed swagger and named Aiden O'Connell as the starting quarterback going forward. The Raiders are on a short week, and Pierce will make his debut as the man in charge when the Giants come to town on Sunday. One of the things fans don't get to see is the bonding that goes on within a team's locker room. And for the Raiders, they've ultimately found themselves bonding in a melee, large brawls occurring every single day after practice. It gets a little hectic as they pick up the sticks for a game of Super Smash Bros. The news that shook up football and made the Raiders the ones to watch heading into Week 10 of the NFL season. Good morning, Raider Nation. I'm your host, Leandre Fox, and this is Vegas Nation Game Day. The NFL trade deadline came and went with no trades from the Raiders, but brought not one, not two, but three major changes to the team. Right as the clock struck 10 p.m. on Tuesday, the Raiders announced they fired head coach Josh McDaniels and general manager Dave Ziegler. Antonio Pierce and Champ Kelly have taken over in the interim. Less than 24 hours later, quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo was benched. Aiden O'Connell was named the starter. With so many big moves, there's been so much that fans have had to say, and we're going to hear from Raider Nation in just a little bit. But first, let's hear from some of the players. The Raiders improved to 2-0 under interim coach Antonio Pierce after beating the Jets on Sunday. They overcame a stout Jets defense and did not allow Zach Wilson and the Jets offense to come alive in primetime. Now they'll be tested in SoFlo against the fresh Miami Dolphins squad with some serious speed at just about every position. While it's F1 time out here in Vegas, the Raiders look to stop a potential track meet out on the East Coast. The last time the Raiders took the field, they broke records, secured a blowout win, and beat a division rival. What a treat it would be for the team to do the same on Christmas morning, this time against the defending Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, this might sound a bit obvious, Vinny, but if Tua Tagovailoa stays fairly clean, the Dolphins win. The most sacks he's taken in a win is 2. Anything more pretty much signals an L for Miami. So, Vinny, how can the Raiders secondary give Max Crosby and the D-line enough time to get to Tua?
Well, I like how you did a little digging on that, because you're right. When the Miami Dolphins struggle, when Tua struggles, it's when opposing defenses, and teams have been able to do this, get pressure on him.
Sandra, we are here at the USA Salute to Service Boot Camp. Raiders are training military members like the Raiders train for NFL Combine. So can you tell us a little bit about this event?
Sure, it's an incredible event. We've been partners with USAA since we've moved here in 2020, and the military and veterans are such an important part of the Las Vegas community. So right now they're kind of going through similar combine drills.
Mm-hmm.
Again, these men and women have given their lives to our country. It's really important that we be able to show them a little bit of fun and what it means to kind of be a Raider, and to do it here in Allegiant Stadium is incredible. And we're just really thankful for the partnership and everything they do for us.
Now, as Raiders president, are you going to do a little scouting, see if anybody has a little bit of a little bit of athleticism to them, and see if they can get a roster spot?
Our eyes are always open, right? But today we just want to make sure they're having a good time.
8 is back. Well, 28 is back, but he's rocking that 8 this year. Josh Jacobs agreed to a 1-year deal with the Raiders, but he missed all of training camp. Sam, he said he's ready to rock and roll, but can he really be ready for game speed?
Yeah, Dre, great question, right? Not having training camp. I mean, football speed and football shape is entirely different than doing something, being on your own.
Benny, we just heard from Josh McDaniels Friday morning regarding Chandler Jones. So what are the latest details you can give us on the situation as news was released that he had been arrested and is now out of custody? Sunday Night Football prime time, first home game of the year. What should Raider Nation be on the lookout for? What are some of the hidden gems of Allegiant Stadium?
Well, the food is always changing, and we've already updated our story a little bit to reflect that. Beyond what I've mentioned, I would look to see what Island Grill is doing because they have a really good noodle dish.
The offense on Sunday, much more productive than we've seen all season long, so I think the answer is pretty obvious, Sam. But what stifled the offense for half the season?
Josh McDaniels, Dre. It's clear they didn't like playing for Josh McDaniels. That's why Mark Davis made the move he made.
Las Vegas had a championship feel this weekend, crowning both the Pac-12 and Mountain West champions. Unfortunately for the local crowd, the Rebels were not victorious. UNLV fell 44-20 to the Boise State Broncos in the Mountain West Championship game Saturday at Allegiant Stadium. The game began as a shootout in the first quarter with both teams scoring on their opening drives, but the Broncos would get the first stop. A pick six kept the Rebels in the game until a disastrous swing put Boise State up 28-14, and they did not look back. UNLV quarterback Jaden Mayava finishing his night throwing for 166 yards and 2 interceptions. Doug Brumfield coming in midway through the fourth to end the game. Boise State had 527 total offensive yards, keeping an historic chokehold over UNLV. The Rebels have not beaten the Broncos since 1976. Broncos quarterback Taylon Green getting it done for Boise State. He made it happen all afternoon and was key in bringing UNLV's incredible season to its end. The Rebels finished 9-4 in the first year of the Barry Odom era.
The challenge to get 10 wins, that is going to be huge, and for me and our staff and the kids to get to 10 wins, that will be now our next step and our goal. We want to get to double-digit wins, and we'll be on a mission to try to get that done.
While the Rebels did not win the Mountain West Championship game, they have one more game to look forward to as they are headed off to a bowl game for the first time since 2014. The Rebels will find out which bowl game they're participating in on Sunday afternoon. For the Las Vegas Review-Journal, I'm Leandre Fox. That's right, the Oakland Athletics have cleared yet another major hurdle in the relocation process as Major League Baseball owners voted unanimously to approve the team's move from Oakland to Las Vegas. Now, this does not mean the A's to Vegas is a done deal, as there are still various agreements with the Las Vegas Stadium Authority that need to be finalized. The A's are set to receive up to $380 million in public funding to build a $1.5 billion stadium at the Tropicana site on the Las Vegas Strip. But the organization will have to secure more than $1 billion to finance remaining construction costs. Now, the team is locked into playing at the Oakland Coliseum through the 2024 season, and initial plans project stadium construction to begin in April 2025, so it's unclear where the team will play ball from 2025 to 2027. This stadium on the Strip is expected to be completed in January of 2028. Again, it's not 100% final, but should the A's reach those final steps, Las Vegas will have its 4th Major League Sports franchise.